Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of diorama making. So today's diorama video will be making some dwarves working in a mine, specifically a gold mine. So I got these little dwarf miniatures right here off Mercury. It was a group of 10. I tried to put all 10. In the end, I ended up with just putting at least 5. But without further ado, here we go. So I was using the Speed Army Painter speed paint markers for the clothing. I went with like a fireman looking outlet look with blue jeans, red jacket, silver helmet, and the brown for the axes and all that other stuff. So these were 3D printed resin from Mercury, so some parts did break off, like the lanterns and like a piece of the helmet, but I went with what I had and just kept going. Gotta keep pushing forward, But so yeah, I've been wanting to work on this diorama for a while now, and I finally got the time, the motivation to push myself to finally finish it. Originally, this diorama was supposed to be in a book nook style, but halfway through I changed and decided to use a open canvas frame, picture frame that you get from like the hobby store. But yeah, but for now, as you can see here, I'm using red for the jacket, hardened leather for the packs and the sticks and the pouches, black for the shoes, and blue for the pants, and chrome for the helmet. But as I was saying, the original plan was to put a 3-level diorama, so like it's gonna be like 3 levels of the mine shaft and them working in the shaft. But I ended up using this open frame canvas and using some rocks that I got from my local hobby store to create the cavern and the cave. Here I'll be using some pre-made 3D printed mine equipment, some mine cars and some boxes with some gold in it, and I'll be putting like a track coming in from that bottom right corner into the cave as they are working their way collecting all gold from the mines. I'm doing something I've never done before. I'm using clay here, air dry clay, to fill up the gaps and build up the rest of the cavern. It was just a whim decision to do this, and it turned out to be a great, fantastic idea. I've never used clay before, other than this one time I used it for a battle tank. But I believe I used a cheap air dry clay because that turned out to be cracking and everything, but at least I dried it differently. But this clay, which is a DAS white clay, worked out perfectly fine, and I'm going to use that for future projects. Now, after painting the miners, which I only showed video of one being painted, and I just skipped the other 5 because they're pretty much the same scheme, I moved over to the mine carts and equipment. So I originally was going to use silver, as you can see that I'm painting the diamonds or the rocks silver in the mine cart. And then halfway through, after I finished it, I decided that it should be gold because gold will pop up more when I was placing the miniatures onto the project. For the color of the minecart, I'm using dark wood. I need to find another light color to use because I only have was dark wood, and it turned out to be obviously dark. But I manage, and that's will be the boxes, and the mine carts will be dark wood for the wood of the carts, and what was it? I think some iron silver for the wheels. And after the miners and mine cart was painted, I continued on to painting the canvas or the mine or the cave. I first primed it black and then dry brushed it gray and white and put a nice wash over the rocks. I started off with a purplish look, dark blue hue, and then moved on to a military shader or dark tone washer. After painting the rest and painting the tracks metal silver on the railings and brown on the wooden part of the railroad, and then dry brushing a little gray on the rocks on the floor, I placed all the dwarves in their spots, and this diorama was done. Here are the final results. And with that, our journey deep beneath the mountain comes to an end. From carved stone tunnels and glittering gold veins to the hardworking dwarves who call this mine home, this project was a chance to bring a classic fantasy setting to life, one piece at a time. If you enjoyed this build, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what fantasy location or diorama you'd like to see next. Your support helps keep this creative projects going. Until next time, keep building, keep creating, and remember, every great adventure starts with a single idea. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.